Hey, it's been a year, hasn't it? This this week actually marks a year of HRT for me. I wanted to film this video sooner, but I've been so fucking busy with my real life and not making content out of everything, work and transitioning back into day to day. It's kind of fallen on me filming this at 3:30 solely because Fortnite actually did an update a little early. So priorities, right? Well, this has been a great year for me, progress wise, and finding, my spot and exploring my true identity. It's also been quite possibly one of the most isolated I've been. And let me, let me explain why. Um, Look to the legislation in other states right now and what's been going on with what is essentially gay panic 2.0, where everybody on the far right is trying to make people like me and so many of our community members out to be the villain, just like they did in gays way back in the 60s and 70s. Um, and really, it's not even been that long. But when you try to explore your true self, you also tend to realize your circle might be a lot smaller than you realized, right? People who you thought were close to tend to distance themselves because they don't understand or they don't want to understand what's really going on. So my already small circle has gotten increasingly smaller, and it's an unfortunate side effect of just trying to be happy, trying to, you know, enjoy quality of life instead of being someone I'm not. Um, Eternally thankful for the community that we've built here. You know, I'm uploading this on my personal channel, but it'll go up in our Discord server for Control Chaos, because it has realistically been the most accepting and welcoming community that I've realistically been a part of. So I'm eternally grateful for things like that. But, it's kind of blindsided me. I want to be transparent as I continue this journey and try to be an example for that community, because we have quite a few queer members in there, some trans, some non binary, some just, gay or bisexual, pansexual, asexual, even. So, the good of it is quality of life. I'm not, you know, as much anymore. First month or so were really rough. Realistically, like first 3 months, because I was up and down, up and down, up and down emotionally, and that's something that the endo was really, transparent with. What I wasn't expecting was, and I realistically should have, because I follow a lot of accounts on TikTok, and they, say mileage may vary, but like shrinking. I went from almost 6 foot tall to just 5'8". So not as difficult getting in an Uber anymore. That's really great, I guess. Shoe size, I went down a half a size, so I went from 12 and a half to 12. It was great. It could go down a few more sizes, honestly, so I can wear some pretty shoes. Would be really nice to not have to fucking search on Amazon for extended sizes for the fucking platforms. That would be really nice. Other things, libido is a fucking mess. I have days where I am eternally the horny, and then there are days where I could give a shit less if I had sex ever again. That is challenging, to say the least. Because I used to just be, bonk constantly. So it's an interesting experience, to say the very least. There, other lovely changes. I'll be honest. Don't ever really buy an expensive wardrobe when you first start off on HRT. It is a waste of fucking money. I know fast fashion is bad, but you can explore a lot of styles very quickly there, and you rotate through them and just drop them off at your local thrift store or donate them to a women's shelter, wherever you want to, because you're going to go through bras like crazy. You're going to go through fucking tops like crazy. You're going to realize like, well, this isn't me. This style doesn't match, or a lot of that will be going on. And I'm thankful that I've dove into the Sheins and Romeways and all that shit instead of, going to a boutique and actually wasting a lot of money. Perks of being a broke bitch, I guess. There's a lot of ups and downs, and it's still one of the most terrifying things to be like full femme presenting out in public. And it shouldn't be, because I'm in a more progressive neighborhood, but it is one of those things where I'm very much like, do I pass enough? Do I actually, look femme enough? And it's something I'm trying to really get over. It's the challenge. I rather would be, femme presenting when I'm with friends or in a group than alone. Not that I can't defend myself. It's that I don't have the fucking energy to do that anymore. I don't want to have to, go full tilt on somebody because they're, trying to assault me. Especially in the climate we're in right now. Because, like, in the area that I live, there's, like, 18 fucking churches, most of them Catholic, and I don't know if it's a religious trauma in me or it's just like a little bit of innate fear. Like, wow, this is just fucking lovely. So yeah, like those are the big ones. The negatives, the big negatives for me. I think this is mostly a travel thing. So this is mileage may vary, but going into a more red state, especially like if you're going to Florida don't go to Florida. Don't ever go to Florida. But Texas, if you do mail order HRT, definitely have your prescription like split up and shipped to like a border town where it's at least safer to get it than trying to get your prescription through there. Just because you're prescribed it doesn't mean they're going to allow it through. Learned that one the hard way. So that was a very specific one. The other massive negative is that initial, like I said, quarter is going to be your roughest period. And just because your body's adjusting the most right then and there. And I'll be honest, like, it's great to fucking have emotions again, but when you're breaking down crying over the most mundane thing at work, people might think you're a little cuckoo. And, we're all a little crazy, but it's really weird when your boss comes up to you and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're watching a goddamn cat video. Why are you crying? And that's honestly a real story. That's a real fucking story. I was crying over a fucking cat video I found scrolling on TikTok in the break room. And that my boss was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And rightfully so. Like, in no way should I have been, crying over cats playing with a fucking catnip ball. But I was. And then, now I actually have like a full range of emotions, and it's really nice, but it's very weird. It was an adjustment. And going from like really, really happy to absolute manic depressive at the drop of a fucking pen was not a fun period of time. It was really interesting, especially like this time last year when I first started. Sitting in the back of a fucking truck, just chucking, like literally throwing boxes because I just had a fucking meltdown. For no reason, just at the drop of a fucking hat. It was just like I broke, and then 10 minutes later, I'm just laughing maniacally and back to normal. All within like a 10-minute period of time. So just be wary and be forthcoming with your employer. Like, hey, if you're safe, of course, hey, this is what I'm doing, and make sure they're aware. um, so that they can work with you in case you need to just, drop out of work for a few days and, kind of balance back out, because that was really nice. And thankfully, my job at the time was very accommodating for stuff like that. I know not every employer will be, and not every employer will be safe to be like, hey, by the way, I'm trans. Let's work something out here so I can just kind of dip, on a medical thing. But yeah, like that's the first year's changes. It's been fun. It's been nice. It's been really a fucking lifesaver, honestly. I hope this gives you a little bit of insight. And I'll do these like every, 6 months, every year or something like that, just to kind of give progress. Tell, little stories and what's been going on, just kind of give some insight into the journey. Until then, peace.